Hello, everyone. Welcome to another week of We Won't Go Back, where we talk about everything to do with women's rights, trans rights, rights in general, anything. There's a lot of stuff coming up on the ballots that are important and need to be talked about. So we are trying to be a source of truth and information for anybody who may need it. So welcome.
Welcome. Beth and Deb here too.
Welcome everybody. Yes, we're ready. We're ready.
Yeah.
Yep.
You might have saw that we thought we were going to have Julie on. There must have been either a miscommunication or she had something sudden come up. We're going to wait and see if she comes up. If she comes up, we'll pop her on. Hopefully we'll be able to reschedule her. Yeah. And I apologize if you're on here to hear her. You're stuck with us for now. Gary.
She's a busy woman.
Yeah, she is a busy woman. But I will promote her thing before you guys start talking. Rally for Our Rights is Thursday, October 28th, 5:30 to 8 at Mitchell Creek Park in Big Rapids, Michigan. And I know she wanted to be on to promote that tonight. So whatever happened, we want to make sure we still promote. She's the secretary of MCDP out of Big Rapids, and hopefully we'll be able to reschedule her. So go ahead, gals.
Yeah. So, there's a ton of controversy out there, and it's so scary. I don't know about you guys, but the more I see, the more I hear, and driving around seeing banners and stuff on certain buildings that you're not supposed to mix with politics. I'm not going to say. It's insane. They're saying that Proposal 3 is too confusing, vote no. Just all kinds of negative stuff out there. And a lot of it's not even true.
Right.
So if you guys are okay with it, I'm going to, there's a comment. I'm not going to read, who it's from or anything like that. But
Jonathan.
This person says, do you realize that in the midst of all the jargon, it makes it so that children can go to their school janitor for help with abortion or gender changes? I mean, that blows me away because it's so untrue. So untrue.
Very, yep.
Proposal 3 says nothing about youth, about gender, about school janitors. I mean, this, basically all it is giving us the same rights that we've had.
Right.
It's not making anything any different. So, I want to beg people before you believe some of this stuff, and, maybe I'll bring more up later, but before you believe any of this stuff, read Proposal 3, and maybe we can even, I know, Stephanie, I think last week you read it.
Yeah, I'm going to post it in the comments too.
Okay. It's terrifying what people are saying, and it's even more terrifying what other people are believing. Hi, Jonathan.
Why aren't I able to put his comment up? It's not letting me.
It's up. I see.
Oh, it's up?
Oh, it was.
It's gone.
I'll try it. Let me try it. Okay.
Beth, I think you have a lag.
Oh.
There, it's up. The problem is people are saying these things, and instead of reading the proposal themselves, they believe what they hear. And there's a lot of negative out there.
I think instead of reading the actual proposal, they're reading interpretations of the proposal.
Right.
So there's that built-in bias by whoever is interpreting it. And that's where they are getting their information instead of reading the actual verbiage of the proposal.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm not saying a thing. No, I am. The thing is, it's all about fear.
Yes.
Let's get them fearful.
Right.
So
yeah.
So let's err on the caution side, and that means that we vote no. Oh, we're out from it.
Yeah, that sets us so far back as far as women's rights.
Yeah.
And if this gets voted down, so many other rights are going to be taken away.
Yeah, this is just the first step. They're not going to stop when they know they can get away with it.
Basically, they're doing this to see if they can get away with it.
Yep.
And if they do, it's going to continue, and it's going to get worse. And I know I'm terrified. I really am, because our kids, our grandkids, our great-grandkids have to live with us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. I totally agree. Jonathan is saying, I don't want my gay rights taken away. And that will be next. And that scares me as bad as women's rights, because,
exactly.
Every human has the right to do with themselves as they see fit, as long as it harms none.
Right.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know if we can get that on the screen without
your face. Oh, went away. I must be something wrong with me today. Can you imagine after the day I've had? There. That's sorry, Steph. We got that across your face. But
is there a link?
Go.
Is there a link that we can post that shows?
Yeah, I can
the proposal?
Put it in the comments.
Okay, I'll leave it up for just a minute or two so people can read if they're interested, because they should be interested. And where's the one I got to go back and find? Remember last week, for anybody that was listening, you can go in and put where you're from, and you can look at your ballot and make those decisions about what you want to vote on. And my phone makes a funny noise. Sorry. So, yeah. I'm exhausted from it all, but we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep doing it.
We have
everybody
to.
Start wearing blue for the blue wave, the women blue wave coming. They're starting to get on Facebook and all those places asking women to start wearing blue as we get closer to and I have very little blue.
Same here. As close as I could get was green.
I got my massage therapy shirt on because that's the blue one I had. Our Mappin shirt, is it blue? Steph?
It's a very, very dark blue, almost black.
It's the black.
Okay.
I hope that's not her. I should look. So
I'm going to take that down so we can see Stephanie. Okay. Yeah. She good going on the banner thing there, Steph.
Yeah. Let's see. I found a link to the proposal, and it has all of them on there.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah. Boy. I mean, I can't even wrap my head around. Well, there's another one saying that, people are afraid that their kids or grandkids are going to be harmed by unknown people who just take them and have abortions or, gender stuff done. None of it makes any sense.
And what about the kids that are forced to have birth?
Right.
What about the kids that are raped by daddy or an uncle or a brother and are 10 years old and giving birth? What about children that are born to unwanted parents that don't want them and they're abused and starved all their life? What about them?
Mm-hmm. Right.
What about the mother that will die if she doesn't have abortion, or the baby born without only a brain stem? What about them?
Right. Exactly. And, you know, the bottom line is everybody should have the choice to make their own decision.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what the circumstances are.
Right.
You know, I was talking to my husband earlier about it, and I said, you know, I was faced when I was pregnant for my first son. It was right after Roe versus Wade came into effect. And I had a few people who said, you should have an abortion. For me, I couldn't do that.
Right.
But that was, you know, knowing that it was my choice made it easier. Now,
Right.
had I not had the choice and been terrified, I was only 16. Who knows what I might have done?
Right.
You know, I had friends. I had one good friend who passed away young. She was, I believe, 15 at the time, from trying to give herself a coat hanger abortion because she was so afraid if her parents found out. She said, they're going to kill me. Well, she ended up dying because she was so afraid. I don't know. It's also frightening.
It
It
is.
really is.
Yeah, and the one thing that this person said was I said, well, you don't have a choice, because we're talking about choices. And I said, once they take away the choice of abortion, you have to birth. That's it. Oh, I could take care of that naturally instead. Or that person referred to that. Like, well, you're still aborting, even if that worked. And
right. But would it be safe? And
Right.
would you feel comfortable in it being safe for your daughter or anybody that, you know, older women?
Right. Yeah. And what's next? Like we've talked in previous shows, what's next? The day after pill will be next. I almost guarantee it.
Yep.
Then you probably at some point, if we keep going, won't be able to get birth control. We'll be wearing red.
They're already talking about that.
Yeah. I'm just and I'm amazed at the women that are buying into it.
That's what I mean. I think all three of us can agree on the fact that it blows us away seeing so many women arguing this.
Yeah.
And pushing for a no vote when, you know, their mothers, their grandmothers, and their great grandmothers fought for this. It's a right. It shouldn't even be being debated.
Right.
But women themselves are saying, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, do they want their children, their daughters, their granddaughters to have to be in back alley abortion clinics? Is that what they want? Because that's what it's going to
be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
We'd love our comments. So if anybody wants to chime in like Dan did.
Whoops.
I'm glad you're doing it because it was not working for me.
And Dan, I agree 1000%.
And I'm going to say it. When we were going to Boyne City yesterday, there was too many churches having too many opinions. I'm sorry. Take your stupid
all their signs.
Down, all that stuff. And I couldn't believe how many no signs there are. And I will tell you this. It's what our party or our belief system, we're a little bit lazy. We don't go out and get those yard signs, and we don't, so it gets depressing for us looking at these yard signs and not seeing the opposition.
Yeah.
Please get the yard signs, put them up, and I know they're hard to find. Yes, make your own. Make your own signs.
Yeah.
Because I need to know when I'm going down the road that there's people that feel the same way we do. It's very disheartening to go down the road and see no.
Yeah, it is. And, all we can do is really pray hard that enough of us have the common sense to vote yes on this.
And on 2. Make sure you vote yes on 2.
Yeah, because we need our voter rights.
Vote. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't want, we want to give people time to vote. What's wrong with giving people time to vote? What are they afraid of?
Right.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what, Daniel? I think it's just that fear. Oh, if I don't do this or that, I won't get into that heaven, or I don't get to feel superior to others if I don't strut my Christianity.
Right.
Exactly opposite of what I think Jesus would be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I think we're all kind of, at this point, a little bit at a loss for words because.
Absolutely.
I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer.
Right.
It's
about
a right
health
that we should have. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how can anybody even consider taking that right away?
Because it doesn't affect them. So they don't care.
But someday it will.
Right.
Most likely. And, most of us know at least 1 or 2 people who are standing that firm ground of vote no, that's wrong, who have either had an abortion themselves or had a family member have one.
Yeah. I have a friend who was in an abusive relationship and had an abortion, and now she's against it. And I just want to say, where would you be if you didn't have that choice? Would your life be what it is now if you didn't have that choice?
Right.
And if you happen to regret it, that shouldn't be on every other woman.
Right. And, I'm sure, like I said, I was kind of faced with that in my youth. It's a rough decision to make.
Yeah.
And usually it's not made lightly.
No.
Almost everybody that I know who has had an abortion has had really good, reasons for it.
Yeah.
And a few that I know of, it was to save their own life.
Right.
So.
Absolutely. So, Stephanie, you still have those names there for who's pro for running for the Supreme Court of Michigan?
Yep.
Want to tell us about that in case people are interested that they want to support the pro-abortion people that will be put in our Supreme Court? Pretty important position for such things as states' decisions about things.
Yeah. So on the ballot, the 2 that are selected as being more progressive are Richard Bernstein and Kira Harris Bolden. So they are both running for Supreme Court, and they are both candidates that are known for being more progressive. So they would be the good ones to vote for to help our cause of making sure we don't lose our rights.
Yay. So vote, people,
hi,
vote.
Christy saying hi to you, Deb.
Hi, Christy.
Tara, I feel
saying
like
hi to all of us.
Age. I have to put my glasses on. I feel like if you pass a certain age, some people get amnesia. LOL. Like people who used to smoke cigarettes and then they became warriors against smoking. True.
But that's fine. It's okay to change your mind, but it's not okay to force that onto other people.
Yeah.
If you've had an abortion and then you regret it and you say, I don't ever want to have an abortion again, fine, don't have an abortion. But don't tell everyone else that they can't either.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. If you want to be vegan, but not everybody has to.
Right.
Very good point.
And Dan says,
I love that.
Not everyone can raise a child with multiple birth defects, but they will force that on parents. Yeah. It's a big undertaking. My sister, Jonathan says, got pregnant with my niece at 16 in 1992. Some members of my family yelled at her to get an abortion. She said no, and she gave birth to an amazing daughter. Yep, goes both ways, doesn't it, Jonathan?
Yep. Yeah. And everybody knows in their own heart.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of my point about myself earlier.
Yeah.
I didn't have an abortion. People wanted me to. But I did have the choice of either doing it or not. Everybody knows for their own whatever, what they need to do for themselves.
Yeah, so again, we've talked about this till we're blue in the face, but some of the things we can do: march, go to rallies, put up yard signs, email representatives, phone calls, get involved, volunteer. Where's that volunteer one? Put that up.
Make sure everyone in your life has the ability to vote, whether they need a ride or they need help registering or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Get in their business.
There we go.
Volunteer.
No, that's not it. My clicker is not working today.
That worked.
There we go. Oh, that's not it.
There. It's not.
It's supposed to be the volunteer one. Oh, wait a minute. I was clicking the wrong one.
No, you had it.
Yes. There we go. Yep. So get on there if you want to volunteer, even if it's just for a few hours one day. Go to the rally in Big Rapids, 5:30 to 8 o'clock at Big Rapids at Mitchell Creek Park. Go listen to the speakers. There's going to be a lot of candidates there. So you get to hear firsthand what they think.
Mm-hmm. And help people understand what the proposals say and what they don't say.
Right.
And all of these people that are saying
on Facebook.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
And the people who are saying it's taking the rights out of the parents' hands for their kids, they're wrong.
Right. Because you're taking it out of everybody's hands, whether it's for the kids or not.
Right.
And I feel like if my kid was ever in a situation where she felt like she needed an abortion or she felt like she was in the wrong body and wanted to be a boy, that she would come to me with it and we could discuss it together.
Right.
Exactly.
She wouldn't go behind, you have a good relationship with your kid. Then they're not going to go behind your back to do those things. They're not going to go to their school janitor to get an abortion because if your kid can trust you, then they're going to come to you with it. And then you can make a decision from there.
Mm-hmm. And if they can't trust you, they will try to take matters into their own hands. And if they can't get a safe abortion,
right,
they will get one that is not safe.
They can Google anything.
Yeah.
Any means necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And what they get on there isn't going to be safe or medically tested or any of those things.
Right. Yeah. To me, that's more scary than, the thought that my 15-year-old daughter or 16-year-old daughter could have an abortion without my permission. I would rather know that she could have a safe abortion.
Yeah, for sure.
Than trying to take it into her own hands.
Yep.
Terry, I don't know how old you are, but as you get older, you will become good at confrontations. It just comes with it. It just comes with the age, man. You just get tired of it and you just get fed up, and you're thinking there's only so much time to have your say, and it just comes out. More and more every year, I'm afraid. But everybody wants, because Deb and Stephanie and I have always been in the spiritual realm and the love and all that. And now that people are disappointed that I'm not farting rainbows anymore, they just don't know what to do with me. They see me as an angry, hateful person instead of a spiritual warrior, which is what I'm trying to be.
Yeah.
Right.
And maybe that's how I come across.
That's our duty. We have, if we're going to be spiritual, we have to do the right thing. And that doesn't always mean being nice.
Or popular.
Yeah. It means standing up for everybody.
Yeah.
And these rights are for everybody. If they start taking
Mandy.
rights.
Sorry.
Oh, good morning, Mandy.
Mandy joined us. Morning.
Yeah, I love her.
I do too. And Matt and Daniel saying it's the same with the dipshits that are terrified of what kids are learning in school. If you don't know what your kids are learning, you're not involved enough with their lives. True. Speak it, brother.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, we're all trying to keep up with comments here.
Terry, that's tough. I'm sorry. And Jonathan says, right, Dan, they don't want kids in school to know about homosexuality. Oh, yeah, I know. Like, they're not going to know. Right?
Right.
I shared one earlier that was really funny. I have to find it.
Hi, Amy.
The cat woke up Mandy.
Oh, dear.
Okay, and that...
This meme says, I sympathize with those who fear that sex ed will sexualize kids. Our youngest studied World War I on Monday, and by Friday, he'd invaded Belgium.
Good one.
But I'll tell you what, if we don't, not necessarily talk, I don't know that we should be talking about heterosexual. But if it's not accepted and all those things, I have to take this phone call. Then those poor kids are going to suffer depression.
Yeah.
Shoot. Never mind. He hung up. Shoot. My son.
Oh, dear.
He'll call back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had that before where they had to deny who they were. Mm-hmm. And we still have it, I'm sure.
Yep.
And hide it and all that stuff. So it's not like we want to keep it secret. It's just, why are we don't talk about hair? I don't get it. Why is it
going around saying I'm straight?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the whole world is evolving. And in all honesty, we should be evolving out of the whole gender thing. You know what I mean? People need to be who they are. I shouldn't have to cook the dinner and do the dishes because I'm a certain gender.
Yes.
Don't get me started. It's very true. I know. Nowadays, more men are very comfortable with staying home and being the house mom, taking care of the kids, taking care of the house, as it should be. People are getting so wrapped up in this, stay in your role that it's ridiculous.
Dan's the one who makes dinner 99% of the time.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did the dishes too, but he knows I don't like the dishwasher loaded a certain way, and that's why I have to do it.
I agree with that. There is a certain way to load the dishwasher, and it drives me crazy when I open it, and it's not that way. I will agree with you.
I appreciate the help, though.
Yeah.
I don't have one anymore. So
you're the dishwasher?
You don't have. I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonathan, that is the best line I've seen today.
Yeah.
Aren't we all one? I mean,
Right.
seriously, we need to all be one and stop trying to live other people's lives and tell other people how to live.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care if you decide you need an abortion. I don't care if you decide you don't need an abortion. I don't care if you pray to whomever. That's your life, not my life. And that's how it's supposed to be. I think people forget, it's like they get so into telling other people what they need to do so that they don't have to look at their own lives.
Right.
Well, it's like the whole transgender bathroom thing. Like, if you're the one peeking through doors to check genitals, then you're the creep, not the transgender person that's going to the bathroom.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
You got to worry
So
about
true.
the football coach and the
No
little
shit.
league coach more than you do. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good point. Mandy, get out of the dark ages.
Yeah.
Can I put Mandy's back up for a minute?
Yeah. Yeah, right, Dan.
I just love that.
Sure, you go right ahead.
My brother is a drag queen that was on Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and I'm gay. So is my son. So how about those apples? Boom.
Drop
And
the
you're
mic.
living,
That's a mic drop.
yeah. You're living your life and you're being happy with yourself and your family is happy. So who cares?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point, Terry. It's especially with the late term, which seems to be a really hot issue of they're murdering babies at birth as if they're pulling them out by the umbilical cord and killing them right there.
Yeah.
The small
And what's the
percentage of people
of late birth,
Yeah, the small percentage that is late term abortion is almost, I would say 99% of the time, it's something that they don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wanted child. It is a child that they have loved for however many months, however far along they are. And for whatever reason, they don't have a child. And they've agonized over it. And they've, maybe they have a nursery already set up and they have clothes and they've had a baby shower and they've had all this stuff. And then they find out this devastating news that they're not going to be able to bring that baby home. Mm-hmm. And then they have a bunch of people calling them baby murders.
Yeah. Right. Or the pain that they have to go through to travel to another state.
Yeah.
When they are already in pain, knowing that the pregnancy's not viable or the baby will suffer or the mother will suffer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there's so many.
And I just keep going back to the fact that this is my body. Who gets to tell me what to do with my body other than me?
Right.
Ever.
Right.
Yeah. About anything.
Exactly. And if it was about, a man having a vasectomy or whatever, that would be totally different.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's almost depressing.
Yeah.
And it's like the closer we get, the harder it gets seeing all of this negativity.
So I have a stat here that says in 2015, more than 400,000 abortions took place in the U.S., and of those, just 5,597, or 1.3%, happened on or after 21 weeks of pregnancy.
Wow.
And then 91% of abortions take place at or before 13 weeks of pregnancy.
Jeez. Thank you, Stephanie, for reading that.
So they're using that small percentage of these extreme cases to build a case for it to be wiped out for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh. I think that's probably the best reason to get out of a parking ticket, and it didn't work.
No kidding.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also liked what Amy had to say about it's about healthcare. It truly is.
And then here
That's the
she's
bottom
going
line.
through losing a child and then dealing with something so silly, so
Yeah.
and no compassion. No. It's almost comical, but it's not. It's not comical.
No.
Yeah.
It really isn't. It really is not.
And I just keep going back to this, us still being paid less. And at least we had the right to our bodies. At least we had that right. And now that's been taken away. So I don't know how many years that puts us back, but it puts us back a lot of years.
Yeah.
And the pay raise isn't even being, we're not even thinking about that right now because we're trying to get this right back. So, yeah, I can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I can't either. It's if you think back on all of our Monday shows that we won't go back, we start with the big determination. And I really see the depression in many women right now.
Mm-hmm.
Women are terrified because this is about way more than the right to have an abortion.
Yeah, it's healthcare in general.
Mm-hmm. It's rights in general for all minorities.
Yeah, I was when Julie can come on with us, I'm hoping that's going to uplift us, because when I did get to talk to her, she was saying that she was feeling positive because she's heard how many of her female friends, probably younger generation, are fired up about getting to the polls. So I hope that's true. And then Michael Moore came out and said he thinks there's a big blue wave coming.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I hold my breath about every news story. Like the news story came on that absentee voting is up, and that sounds good. And my negative brain went to, oh my gosh, that's going to make the Republic or the other side fearful, and they're all going to go to the polls. And then I thought, maybe there could be a snowstorm on November 6th. It's just, I shouldn't be afraid. It should have been good news. Do you understand what I'm saying? It should have been good news. Hi, Shonda. She says, yes, lots of young people are voting. Yes.
I hope so. I
will.
And that's, we all have to encourage every young person, every person. I mean, I talked to people who have said, well, I'm 54 years old and I've never voted in my life. Why would I start now?
Yeah.
Well,
kind of selfish.
Yeah.
You have those rights all the time that you had reproduction freedom.
Yeah.
And now you don't want it's kind of like once your kids get out of school and you don't care about if the school gets their leverage or not.
Right.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shonda says, I will have fireballs shooting out of my eyeballs on 11/8. Well, I hope you're going to have happy fireballs shooting out of your eyeballs.
I hope so too.
I hope it's fireworks and happiness. Yeah, I do feel like we're holding our breath. Do you guys feel like that? Like
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I really do. Because it's not for us. It's for the whole.
Yep.
Here's a secret. I'm 65. I'm not on birth control, and I'm not going to have to get an abortion. Yeah. There's a secret.
Yeah. And I'm 64. Same thing. But and a comment we heard today that I know we've all been hearing is, well, I have the right to choose to vote no. Yes, you do have that right to choose to vote no. But once you vote
Here's
no,
a picture I put of people wanting us to have fart rainbows instead of talking about this.
cute.
Sorry,
If
Deb,
you
go ahead.
vote no, you're going to lose that right. You will
Yeah.
no longer have that right.
Yep.
So think
Right.
about that.
Right.
If you vote no, you will no longer have the right to choose anything unless you're a white man.
This is the pebble being thrown in the water, and we're going to watch it ripple. And we need to decide how far we're going to let it ripple.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's starting here, and it's just going to grow and grow and grow, and they're going to keep trying to see what else they can get away with, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Dan. I need to get back to that. I really feel we need to stay positive and throw that out to the universe. You're right.
Yep.
And we're trying.
It's not easy, but
yeah. But
we'll do our best.
The yes votes will override the no's.
Yeah.
And John, we aren't going back. We can't go back. We can't. It's, people have fought too hard. Yep.
Yeah.
So, and I think she's saying this too. We also need to fight. So we do need to stay positive. Dan's right there, but we also have to fight. We have to stay strong, put that information out, be willing to talk to anybody, even especially maybe those who don't agree, and help people to realize, help women mostly to realize they're giving up their right to anything if they vote no.
Yeah.
Mandy.
Yep.
All us menopausal women should turn up together. Right.
That's right.
Yeah. Yep. So true. Dang.
It's gonna take all of us. We all have to do it. We all have to work together. We all have to commit to going out and voting and turning up, and don't let people intimidate you out of doing what your heart feels is right.
Yeah. Exactly. And be willing to, like Stephanie said earlier, or maybe it was last week, I don't even know. If someone needs a ride, give them a ride. If somebody needs, a ballot, help them get an absentee ballot. If somebody doesn't understand something about the voting procedure, help them with it.
Yeah.
We all have to be willing to work together.
Yeah. It's important.
It is. So what date was the Big Rapids thing? Is that this coming Thursday? Do you remember?
I think it's this coming Friday.
Okay.
Because I know that I won't be able to go because we had previous plans. So that's why I know it was this Friday.
Okay. I plan to go, but I'm hoping my family is clear of COVID by then.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah. Here we go again.
Okay. So yes, Friday, October 28th from 5:30 to 8.
Okay. And does anybody else out there know of any marches or anything coming up? Ooh, this is interesting information.
What?
We had those signs saying it's confusing, show up on people's lawn without their permission.
Are you kidding me?
I have heard that from a few people that, they had one put in their yard. It's unbelievable. So this is going on everywhere, huh?
Yeah. I've seen them a lot on public property too. And I don't know if they're allowed to do that.
Right.
If I was a church member of those churches, I'd be so mad.
But isn't that kind of against
the churches I saw? Yeah.
Are they supposed to do that?
I don't think so. But then again, it's like supermarkets, the one I haven't been in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason. And maybe my $100 a week, I hope they someday add that up, what that would have been.
Yeah.
And then if there was even 3 of us that did it, I have not walked in that place ever in over 2 years. Wow. And it was they were thanking people for not masking and they had certain political victim cutout things and stuff, and they're not getting my money ever. Right. But the point is, you were talking about the other. I don't know why do people that have they know there's different belief systems, how do they justify that they pick a side when maybe the congregations is half and half? Now, right. I kind of understand Catholic because you kind of know what you're getting when you are a Catholic. That's one of their staunch beliefs. But, I was baptized Lutheran. I'd be mad if I was attending a Lutheran church and they had that propaganda up. Yeah. And it's wrong information anyway.
Right. Yeah. People that are saying it's too confusing, read the proposal, please. Yeah. Stephanie has posted it. She posted the link to it. You can look it up. It's all over Google. Look it up, read it.
We have so much information at our fingertips that there is no reason to not know. It's just willful ignorance if you don't know. Because there are, even if you don't have internet, if you don't have a computer, go to the library because they have internet and they have computers and they have people there who can help you find the resources so that you can educate yourself. There's just no excuse for it.
Exactly.
There's your sample ballot while I'm looking for that other.
Yeah, there's really no excuse. Yeah, Shonda says total lies. And they're using it's confusing, that is a total lie, to confuse people.
Right.
And instead of people reading it themselves, they're believing this stuff. And
yeah, it's discouraging people from reading because they're going to say, well, I don't understand the words in it, so I'm not going to bother reading it. Well, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Yeah. I've read it several times. I don't know why it's so confusing.
No, I've read it and I've tried to find these parts of the ballot that talk about children and talk about gender reassignment and talk about all this stuff. And I don't see it. So I don't know where they are pulling this out of.
Let me put up the actual words once again. We're going to cover Stephanie's face. Sorry. But let's go through it. A proposal to amend the state constitution to establish new individual right to reproductive freedom, including right to make all decisions about pregnancy and abortion, allow states to regulate abortion in some cases, and forbid persecution of individuals exercising established right. This proposed constitutional amendment would establish new individual right to reproductive freedom, including the right to make and carry out all decisions about pregnancy, such as prenatal care. Oh, is that where it stopped?
Yeah. And there's more to it, but like
go
Stephanie
ahead,
said.
back up. You want to read the whole thing? There you go. Is that it? Yeah. And it has the candidates on there too, stuff?
No, not that link.
Mm-mm.
Oh, what's the
that link is specifically for the 3 proposals, but I think from there people can kind of click around and get information on everything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
But seriously, people, read the proposals, because they're trying to make us feel stupid, and we're not. I mean, it's pretty.
And assume that women
plain.
won't understand it.
Right. Last I knew, most of us could read
and understand words.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Even the
on
big words.
phonics.
Yeah.
And you'll never see anything in there about, taking away parents' rights or gender mutilation. None of that.
The only thing I can think of is because it doesn't specifically say children aren't included, that they're assuming that, it's they think instead of it being understood that it's for adults that are 18 or over, that because it doesn't specifically say this only applies for 18 and over, that it just applies to everybody. That's the only thing I can think of as to how they would pull that information from what's written.
I don't know about you guys, but I know that, and I know this is the next thing to go. My daughter at 15 or 16 decides that she needs to be on birth control. I want her to feel comfortable either coming to me or going to her doctor, even behind my back.
Right.
Because it's not about me.
No.
I might be her mom, but it's not about me. But I want her to be able to go someplace to get that protection.
Yep.
Okay, very personal, but I'm going to share. It's how I got molested by the doctor. 17, went behind my parents' back to get birth control, almost 18. He knew I wasn't going to say anything to anybody. And he took advantage of that.
Oh my God.
And not only did it scar me for life, I carry guilt because I wasn't brave enough to come out and tell, and wondered how many other women, it happened to. So there's consequences from these things, just consequences from these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, didn't know that was going to come up.
No, we're sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry that happened to you.
But I'm ashamed that I wasn't braver.
I understand you can't just eradicate those feelings, but you were a kid and you were scared and something awful happened to you. So I really don't think there was anything you could have done. Like, you couldn't have forced yourself to do it.
Yeah. Who were they going to believe? Right.
Well, even just the fact that you had this traumatizing experience like that, you're not going to be like, okay, walk out the door. Now let me see. I have to do this now. And now I have to do this and I have to do this. That's not where your brain is at. So,
well, I was so naive that the girl that went with me, I said to her, was he supposed to take it? Because I had never had an exam. Was he supposed to take his gloves off? And was the nurse supposed to leave the room? And was he supposed to do that to my breast? And I had never been examined ever, so right. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So this sets up for all this kind of stuff too, guys. So we're not just talking about abortion rights. It's your body. It's your body. Completely right. Your body.
Right.
Sorry. Geez. Didn't know that was going to affect me.
Yeah. And Shonda says, no, we should share our stories. That we have been taught to hide and be ashamed of. And I agree with that 1,000%. You should feel comfortable in sharing that. Not that it's a comfortable story. It's very uncomfortable.
Right.
But if our rights are taken away.
Me Too movement helped me with that, but I don't share it often. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Oh, what a day this has been.
But we need our rights. And we need to be able to be strong and know that we have a voice as women.
Yes.
And Terry says, we love you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Jeez.
Shonda says, that bonds us and makes us stronger. And that's what we need.
Yep.
We have to
Yeah, and we all
educate our
have a
young.
story. I know each one of us on the panel have stories.
Oh yeah.
And I know that you guys in the comments have stories. I could almost bet on it because the statistics are 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
statistic wise, yeah.
And we need to remember that we have nothing to be ashamed of.
Exactly.
We didn't do anything wrong. And I think that's really hard for us to make our brains believe because of the way society is, and it's a lot of victim blaming and stuff like that. So we need a whole rewrite of society and how women are treated. And if we, get rid of these rights, then we're perpetuating that belief that women are nothing. So we need to change that narrative.
Exactly. Yep. And I love the Me Too movement. And it needs to continue because every little Beth and Deb and Stephanie needs to be able to tell people about these stories and feel okay with it. Yeah, because, back in our day, we wouldn't either be believed or we would have been shamed for telling.
Or both.
Yeah.
Because that was the era of what are those tops we used to wear without bras?
Like the bandana tops.
Yeah, and it would show your belly. And so it would have been our fault probably for dressing like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was always every woman that was raped back then. It was their own fault. And still today, oftentimes, when there is a rape case, they turn to, well, what did the victim
What were you
do?
wearing? How much did you have to drink? Where did you walk? Did you have somebody with you? Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And especially women who are sex workers, it's even worse. Well, you're a sex worker, so there's no such thing as rape for sex workers. Exactly.
Like they could be raped. Yeah. It's awful. It's awful.
Yep.
It is.
All right. We're coming up on an hour. How are you guys feeling?
Great. We're gonna do this.
We're gonna do
it. Yeah.
We're gonna do this.
And we need all of you. We need every single one of you.
Yep. And every person that you can get.
Take people to the voting booths. Get them absentee ballots. Encourage them to vote if they're not. Write our congressman. Get those signs. Volunteers. Go to the rallies. And with that, we'll say, Steph, did you want to do promotes tonight?
Yeah, so on Monday nights, we have my Haunted Diary Communion on YouTube. Just a weekly show of our adventures in the paranormal. And I think this week Dan was doing tonight's episode was about his anniversary of founding Map It 16 years ago. So that's a fun one to kind of go back to the beginning and see where it all started.
Awesome.
And you sell some products?
Yep, I have a shop, Mayricky, and we sell candles and soaps and bath and body products and just about anything you can think of. We are on Facebook. We are working on fixing our website. We do ship. Everything is made with love, care, and good intention for good health, mind and body.
Amazing products. And my granddaughter is hooked.
Yep.
I know. I just ordered candles from her for Christmas. Oh, I shouldn't be telling that.
Nice.
Okay.
Cool. I know what I'm getting for Christmas.
Deb, tell us about what's going on with you guys.
Why not a lot? We have Mystical Awakenings, a metaphysical shop in Holt Lake, Michigan. Open Thursday through Saturday, noon to 5. Thursday night, I have Mystical Awakenings Radio on KGRA, and our guest is Bill Konkolowski, the Michigan State Director of MUFON. So that's at 8 o'clock and should be lots of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
And yet you said your shop, right? And
Said the shop.
Con in September.
Yeah.
Oh, the Women's Weekend.
Well,
or not women's.
Yeah.
It's not just for women now, right?
Nope. It's non-gender based because everybody likes to come. So it's now called Weekend or Mystical Retreat Weekend, and that is November 18th, 19th, and 20th. And it's at the Lakeside Resort and Conference Center in Houghton Lake, Michigan. Lots of cool stuff going on this year. We have some regression work coming, and of course, as always, singing bowls, meditation, different things. And I might actually be regressed publicly, but I'm still toying with that.
Sure. I just got a message from Julie.
Oh no.
And she said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I just forgot. I feel so bad. I hope we can reschedule or I can make it up to you somehow." So, boy, if we have it before the rally, but we won't be able to have it before the rally.
But she can come and give us more information and talk about what happened at the rally.
So I will be in touch with her, and we'll see if we can get her on next.
We can do it again, or we can do it again tomorrow night.
Okay. So I'll see what's good for her. Yeah, maybe we should. So, because a week, it is hard to remember.
Right.
So, yeah. And as far as my promos, I'm just going to concentrate on this for now. I will be having an eBay store open, and that'll be on my Sacred Journeys channel. And other than that, that's it. I'm exhausted. I know you guys are exhausted, and but
we're not giving up.
We're not going to stop. We won't go back. All right. With that, we'll say good night and look for us Wednesday or Monday to see Julie if you're interested. And thank you, commenters. You guys were wonderful tonight.
Yes.
And we need your input so much. So good night. We love you. Thank you for letting me have that little emotional moment. And good night and Godspeed.